Good morning, family. How we doing today, man? It's another episode of Daily Gems. I want to call this one or coin this one Jedi mind tricks. Okay. In the last video, which I did a couple days ago, I talked about narcissism versus empaths, right? So I'm gonna be on this, I'll say, little docu-series as far as dealing with narcissism, how to recognize the tactics that they use to employ on their victims or whatnot, and how to just simply escape the abuse. Take the stand, take your power back, take your mind back. You know what I'm saying? So here's a few things that I want to go ahead and disclose, right? Jedi mind trick, aka gaslighting. Now, as of late, this is a word used in the, I would say, psychology or philosophy arena, psychology arena, whichever. When the narcissist is either exposed, they've been called out, and they have to produce an answer. Now, what gaslighting is simply is this, right? And I'll give you guys plenty of examples in this video. What happens is when they're called out for their behavior, their actions, their conversation, what they'll do to the person that is unknowingly aware of the tactics, they will flip it onto them, basically projecting, right? So let's try to think of a topical example for you guys real quick. Trying to think, man. Give me a second, guys, because I got so many different occurrences in my mind, right? So let's say, okay. So let's say, you're in a relationship, right? And then the narcissist, from time to time again, just blasts you in public because, I don't know, some minute, something very, very small. That's how it always is. It's something that the victim doesn't see as a big deal, but the narcissist will take a small matter and magnify times 100. It could be somebody cuts you off in traffic, and you're in a car, and then the narcissist is just railing it, like going in on you, like, oh, you didn't see that, you didn't know that. I'm like, yo, I got cut off. Like, what you want me to do? We're safe, right? No, I think you should do this and this, and it just goes on and on and on, right? So here's what gaslighting looks like, okay? So let's say they caught in the act of cheating, right? Or they cheated, and you have receipts to show that they did so, and you address it. So say, hey, I saw you with so and so the other day, or Sandy said that he saw you with Sasha one day. You know what I mean? And then the dude could be like, what? No, I don't even talk to Sasha. I blocked her. And then let's say that screenshots are found, and then they're showing you the evidence, right? So now they're presenting it to the narcissist, right? And then the narcissist will see that, hear that, and then this is how they'll flip it on you, right? The Jedi mind trick, like the wave of the hand. They'll say, well, no, you remember the time where you gave Johnny a hug and I didn't like that. And it's like, what? Like, that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about why are you entertaining Sasha? You kissed her before. You said you didn't do anything, but then I found out this and the third. So why are you still talking with Sasha? And then the more and more questions you ask the narcissist, the more and more irate they become, the more and more enraged they become, and they'll do like a Jedi mind trick to disprove your logic, disprove your evidence. And this is why when it comes to these type of scenarios, man, it's just best just to have the truth for yourself, for your peace of mind, and to decide properly whether or not you still want to be in a relationship with that person, or if you even want to associate with an individual that's like that. Narcissists can never take accountability for their sayings or actions, so on and so forth. I have plenty of, matter of fact, I have an example now, thank you, Lord. I remember I was talking to somebody before, and what happened was, even in the presence of a mediator or mediators, my concern was never heard. You know what I'm saying? Was I frustrated? Yes, I was frustrated and tired because I knew what the person was doing. I know that this person is a person who's known for doing this. They'll always get their word off, their ideas off, and then when it's time for me to speak or you to speak, oh, well, I'm done with the conversation. Well, I don't talk about this anymore. Of course you're done, because you got your point across, but yet in a fair setting, both parties should equally speak and then come to a reasonable agreement. but not to the narcissist. It's always what they want. It's always what they want to do and how they want to do it and when they want it done. No one else is important to them. You know what I'm saying? Not even their feelings, emotions. It could be dead on the side of the road and it won't matter, right? But then, that's another topic. So, that person and I became some agreement at one point in time. So some time passed later, and this person hits me up and says, "Hey, you're supposed to be doing this today." I'm like, "What? No, it's not my time yet, right?" So let's say if it comes to co-parenting, okay, let's go to that example. So let's say that you co-parent and you get your kids or whatever every other week. Now to the narcissist, they'll say, "Hey, it's your time." No. And then, so the empath will show the receipts, the text messages, which I would encourage you, especially when you're doing an empath, a known empath, always keep receipts. Why? Because they switch up the narrative each and every time. So to this person, I think I'm thinking about now, I showed them, I said, "Hey, no, like this is what you said here and here and here, and this is what we agreed upon." So what I had to do was I screenshotted it, I circled the time and their message. It came from their phone or it came from their email or whatever, right? So when you're dealing with these type of individuals, you gotta have receipts. And watch this, right? And this is how the Jedi mind trick works. I showed the receipt, and then this is what this is what he said. "No, you misread that." How did I misread it? No, what I meant was this day and this day and this time. And I said, "No, this is what you said." And then once you can't, and here's another part of the gaslighting. All right, it's a tactic to enable you to forgo whatever you want done and however you want it said and etc. Right. So what happened is they'll hit you with a barrage of ad hominems. Ad hominems is a disrespectful retort towards the person that they're speaking with. Like, for instance, they'll bring in somebody that has nothing to do with the conversation between the two parties. "Oh, that's why so-and-so got cancer in your family." You're like, "What? Like, what does that have to do with anything?" You know what I'm saying? "Or this is why you grew up alone," or "this is why your dad left you," and all this other stuff. Bringing in people that have nothing to do with the conversation at hand, that's called an ad hominem. It's a cowardice move, but it shows you the type of mindset that they have as narcissists. And so, again, as long as it caters to their mandate and that's what they do, then they're cool with it. They have no care or concern about what's done. So once you are not falling for the Jedi mind tricks, they begin to hit you more and more barrages. So when you're being gaslit, right, here's a third point that I'm gonna make. I'm gonna shut down the video. To escape, once you recognize the gaslighting, the best thing for you to do is I believe it's called stonewalling or gray rocking. Giving very vague, one-word answers. You seem very, very, unplugged from the conversation. They can see your whole four-page letter, you know what I'm saying, like Aaliyah bars, right? And then you have one response: "Sure, yeah, okay, yeah, all right." It grinds their gears because they want more and more information from you. So the more that you give them energy, because they're vampires, literally, the more and more you give them energy into the conversation, the more and more they keep going. But the best way to deal with a narc that is known for habitual gaslighting is to simply block them. Limit your responses if you have to, because I do understand that some people, have baby mama, baby daddy, issues and situations. And so if your baby daddy or baby mama is a known narcissist, the best way to do is to only text, email them. Don't have any phone conversations. Why? Because especially in court, you can't prove that stuff in court. You know what I mean? Unless it's an actual recording. A good friend of mine, my brother, told me it's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove. So if you can prove that this person is a narcissist, you have witnesses, and they're known for gray rocking or gaslighting people, because they'll do it with other people. So the tactic with gaslighting is to cause the victim to get frustrated and just to abort mission. That's all it is. Once they realize that they've won, then they'll go back to doing the same stuff, same shenanigans. So it's important to take note And lastly, it's important to know that once you know that they're a narc and they gaslight people all the time, just again, don't give them that time and energy. They're looking for victims who don't know their strategies. Once you become aware to their strategies, and you're not as reactive, or you don't respond, which I think it's more wiser to respond more so than react. They're not gonna bother you too much because then they've been found out. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a hard topic to discuss, but gaslighting simply is when you have evidence to prove to the narcissist. You go on a conversation with them, and they keep abandoning the conversation. They keep flipping it on you like musical chairs. They'll flip it and they'll become the interrogator. You'll become the person who has the defendant, so on and so forth. No, it's at the end of the day, it's about being grown. It's about being adult. It's about being accountable for your actions. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, they have what's called arrested development. This is what I said in my last video, and it's literally a waste of time. So that's my morning gems for the day. You have a great day. Peace. God bless.